in the future, getting rid of the monetary system is one of the basic problems. If you don't want crime, if people have access to the necessities of life, they don't steal. Nobody's going to hit you on the head and take your wallet if they have access to food, clothing, housing, music. It costs $50,000 to keep a young kid in jail a year. Doesn't come out any better. $75,000 for adult. All the police departments, by the way, 90% of the police are going to get angry at me. They are basically corrupt because they should be interested in problem solving, not giving people tickets. In other words, let me give you an idea. In the future, instead of having instruments in a car, the instruments solve the problem of pumping air in your tire when it's low. When you have a policeman says, pull over, where did you learn to drive? This is an arrogant person because people sometimes, the boss says, if you're late for work, you forget coming in. Sometimes the person's late for work, so he does speed. He speeds because he doesn't want to lose his job. And then he's given a fine. Some poor guy that earns minimum wage, you fine that guy, you make life real tough for him. Well, goddammit, he's got to drive safely. Driving safely means that we must do away with automobiles and put in a built-in transportation system in the city that takes you any place you want to go, either you dial the art center, music center, whatever you're interested in. It'll take you there within 5 minutes. I got the idea from Radio City, the Empire State Building. It takes 1 million people up and down every year, 1 million, and they never crash. The elevators don't hit each other, they don't explode, you don't kill people. Even if you cut the cable that supported the elevator, there are brakes that go on the side. That's what I mean by technical solutions. But if you took the elevators of the Empire State and turned them out into the city, that would be your transportation system. So you have a question? Yes.
So what is the technical solution for the drive for one human being to conquer or subjugate another?
We don't.
See, because we have these morons that are running.
I understand.
You know, and
I understand your question.
Good.
Okay. Really, it was put to me a different way. It said, how are you going to get to all these different nations that are different? They have different concepts of God, different concepts of morality. How are you going to reach them? So I said to myself, hey, Jacque, you've got to reach people, otherwise it's not going to work. So I joined the Ku Klux Klan in Miami, and I dissolved it in a month and a half. Then I joined the White Citizens Council, dissolved it in 1 month alone. Then I asked some questions in New York. I said, what are some of the most backward people? I don't mean to attack anybody, but they pointed out some little Arab community that still believed the earth was flat. So I approached the guy in charge. His name was Elbaz. And I told him that I believed the earth was round. He went, that means it can't be. Yeah. So he held his hand up, symbolizing a sphere. And he said, if the world is round, man fall me down. From the side of the world, all the water fall off. And I was thinking, gee, this guy is using the best tools he has to think about it. So I said, gee, if I can't get to that guy, I can't change the world. So I put a balloon in his hand, and I rubbed it with fur very fast. And I put some cornflakes in his hand and told him to hold his hand about 6 inches away from the rubber balloon. And all the cornflakes jumped up to the balloon because I charged it statically. Can you understand that? And his jaw hit the pavement. And he said to me, world he magnet? I said, eh. Ah, he pointed to his head, meaning he now understands. And he went in the other room telling all those people who believed the earth was flat that it could be round. So, but if you use technical language, you're not communicating. If you say there's centripetal force, just the opposite of centripetal, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. So there is a way to get to people. The way you get to people is not attack them. Show them. Give them reasons. Show them evidence of your viewpoint. But don't attack them. So here's the way you bridge the difference between different countries. All countries need clean air, clean water, arable land, and nutritious food, and a relevant education. That means no bankers, no lawyers, no businessmen, no advertising, because these fields do not contribute anything to the earth. So in the future, there'll be agronomists, sociologists, social psychologists, be educators, but not the way they are today. They educate you to fit in with this system. Education in the future will prepare you for change and future. And when you say, is that right? Well, as far as we know, today we think it is. So when you begin to talk that way, if you see a new airplane without wings, normal people, normal means loused up, will say it doesn't have wings, it'll never fly. The proper way to speak is, I'm not technical. How do you propose to lift off the ground without wings? The language has no argument in it. And they, at high schools today and universities, they have debating teams. You try to win, I try to win. You shouldn't have that. What you need is dialogue where you share ideas, not debate. You're not out there to win, you're out to understand different points of view. So you live in such a loused up culture, loused up society, that we all prostitute ourselves for money. People sell their voice, they sing, then they tell you to buy this kind of toothpaste or this kind of hair lotion. Now think about this. Here's a young girl standing behind the counter in a department store, selling hair lotion, Tangy lipstick, and what can I do for you, ma'am? If she works there 18 years and retires, is that using her brain? You're wasting the brains of millions of people that do repetitive jobs that get them nowhere. They're no smarter than they were. So the world of the future that I'm talking about will upgrade people continuously, upgrade. And there'll be no technical people in charge. I want you to understand there's no social stratification. Everyone gets whatever they need. Well, do we have that kind of resource? Yes, we do. We have more than enough resources to house everyone on earth. Not Jimmy Carter's way with a hammer and nails. You're not going to rebuild America. This man is a stupid individual. I'm telling you, like it is. These people don't know how to solve problems. We can lay houses like eggs. We have metals today that have a memory. We have plastic materials today that have a memory. There are sutures being experimented upon today, surgical sutures. The doctor ties a surgical knot, then he straightens it out. He sticks the suture straight through he cuts the skin, sticks it through, and the heat of the body causes it to tie a surgical knot. So the future is going to be fantastic. You don't have to dig up nickels and dimes for research in heart disease, cystic fibrosis, cerebral palsy. We'll give every lab whatever the hell they need. That's a sane society.
Do we have to go through a societal collapse?
I'm sorry about that.
Does it have to be like an Armageddon scale like collapse?
I'm sorry about that. I wish people were reasonable. You can sit and talk to them. Right. They are not reasonable, nor are they intelligent, nor are they civilized. I'm not attacking people. I'm just saying that your society did that to you. All societies do that. You might ask an American Indian, what would you like? What do you want? He says, I'd like a teepee. And you ask an Eskimo, what do you want? An igloo. Well, they can only want within their educational level. Do you understand? I'm not condemning people.